everyone. In this video, we will focus on introduction to similar polygons, and this is the third part. We remember that two figures are similar if their corresponding angles are congruent and the ratios of the lengths of their corresponding sides are equal. Before we jump into these examples that we have here, we remember that these pictures that we have are not scaled. So let's take this first example. The figures below are similar. So these two triangles are similar. We're supposed to determine the scale factor and we're supposed to solve for x. Let's start determining the scale factor first. So I'm just gonna write that down here. Let's represent scale factor as k. So there's a formula for k, which is again represented as scale factor. We are supposed to determine the ratio of the second over the first picture. So I'm just gonna write that down here. Others would write this as new over the old picture. That should be fine too, but we take the second over the first. So in this problem right here, we can pick any of these corresponding sides, because then again, we remember that the ratio of the lengths of their corresponding side are equal if the two figures are similar. So then we can just go ahead and pick this one right here. So the corresponding sides here, by the way, are 10 and 2. We got 15 and 3. We got 20 and x. So we can pick 10 and 2. Again, you can pick 15 and 3 too. That should be fine. So we plug it into the formula. The second figure is 10. And then the corresponding sides of 10 would be 2. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. So the value or the scale factor that we have here is 5. What does this mean? This means that this second picture that we have here is 5 times bigger than the first picture. So that's what we mean by the scale factor. Again, the scale factor is represented as letter K. Now, from here, we can go ahead and say that we can multiply 5 to each of this side lengths here. We can get the measure of the second picture. So you can notice here that if I multiply this by 5 times 2, it gets to 10. And so if I multiply this 3 again by 5, 3 times 5 is 15. That means that this x is going to get multiplied by 5 as well. So that would equal to 20. So then we can solve for x from there. Since this is missing, we can use this. 5 times x would represent 5x. And then again, that is equal to 20. Just like how we did it on the side over here. 5 times 2 is equal to 10. 3 times 15 is equal to, 3 times 5 is equal to 15. So x times 5 is equal to 20. So what we do so we can solve for x is we divide both sides by 5. I'm going to divide this by 5 so we can cross the 5 out. We are left with x is equal to 4. And this makes sense because if we multiply 4 and 5, so x is 4 multiplied by 5, that gives 20. And so our value for x is 4. At this time, I would encourage you to pause this video and try this problem out on your own. And when you're done, unpause it and check your answer. Okay, so we go over the problem here. So first, we are going to determine the scale factor. So I'm just going to write it down here. Okay, so again, the formula for scale factor is second figure divided by the first figure. Again, scale factor is represented as letter K. Letter K is a variable. Other textbook will use a different letter for this. That should be fine. But for this video, we're using letter K as a representation for scale factor. So then we can go ahead and plug the values in. Again, it doesn't matter which one we pick, but then we remember that the corresponding sides are 21 corresponds to 7, 6 corresponds to 2, 33 corresponds to 11, x corresponds to 5. So these are what we mean by corresponding side lengths. We can pick any corresponding side lengths. It doesn't matter. So let's pick 21 and 7. So I go ahead and put that in here. So the second figure, I'm picking 21. So 21 over I will pair it up with 7. Again, it's 7 that is the corresponding. Please be careful on this side because you cannot just simply pair it up with other sides that are not corresponding. It has to be corresponding. So 21 divided by 7 is 3. This means that this picture, or the second picture that we have here, is actually 3 times bigger than the original picture, although it doesn't show that in the picture because it's not scaled, but that's what we mean by scale factor. So this means that each of these values that we have on the first picture shall be multiplied by 3, and that makes sense because if you have 7 times 3 is 21, then these two shall be multiplied by 3. 3 times 2 is 6. And we have 11. Multiply this by 3. That gives us 3 times 11 is 33. And so this 5 shall also be multiplied by 3. And that gives us 15 is equal to x. So that we can go ahead and write that on the side here. That's gonna be, we can show the work. 5 times 3. 5 times 3, that's how I got there, is equal to x. And 5 times 3 is 15. And so x is equal to 15. And that makes sense because, again, 3 times 5 is 15. So that's the x value. Did you get k is equal to 3 and x is equal to 15 as your answer to this second problem right here? Good. Perfect. If you find this video helpful, hit like and subscribe for more math videos. See ya!